ちょっと早口。100%いきたい、100%いきたい。
Now sports. On the third day of the New Year Grand Sumo tournament, Yokozuna Hakuho faced Shohozan. Shohozan defeated the other Yokozuna, Haruma Fuji, yesterday. Hakuho and Shohozan faced each other for the first time in 1.5 years. Hakuho was wary of his opponent's speed. Hakuho did not lunge with his left leg as he usually does. He altered his timing and went on the offense immediately when his opponent had almost come to a stop. This may appear to be a passive move, but it's actually a technique where the first move is executed. Hakuho seemed satisfied, saying that it's not something you can do on the spur of the moment. And as we saw, Hakuho forced out Shohozan. Aminishiki is 37. He's the oldest among Makuuchi wrestlers. He faced Yokozuna Kakuryu. On the first day of this tournament, Aminishiki defeated Kiseno Sato by altering his initial charge. Today, he and Kakuryu could not time their initial charge well. Kakuryu was cautious of changes in Aminishiki's swift lunges, but the lower-ranked wrestler outwitted the Yokozuna. The veteran wrestler pushed out Kakuryu, defeating the Yokozuna for the first time in 7 years. Aminishiki says he's never defeated Kakuryu since Kakuryu became Yokozuna, so he was determined to get one bout.
The results of some other bouts: Kawayaki pushed out Omare Fuji, Takekaze pushed out Chiyotai-ryu. Mitakeumi pushed out Sadanoumi.
Now let's look at the bout between Ikioi and Tochiozan. Ikioi pushed out Tochiozan.
Ichinojo forced out Teruno Fuji. Tochinoshin forced out Go-Eido. Ikioi had the first win in the tournament, and he said he feels he's very happy. Actually, he was singing as he walked.
At the All Japan Table Tennis Championships, a third-year junior student pair, Miu Hirano and Mima Ito, played their first match. They aim to win the women's doubles at the youngest age ever. This is the last time that the two will play as a pair. Hirano has been removed from the list of candidates for the Rio de Janeiro Olympics. They lost the first game, but they gradually gained the momentum in the second game. Last year they toured overseas. They seldom played with Japanese players. Today's opponent was good at long rallies. The Hirano-Ito pair made many missed shots. They lost their first match. They were unable to achieve their goal of winning the title at the youngest age. Hirano says she's disappointed that her pair has lost in the second round. Ito says that although the two will not play together as much as before, they will brush up their skills to win more games in Japan and overseas.
In Japanese pro baseball, 12 clubs held a joint seminar for new players. Following a scandal over illegal gambling, the annual seminar dealt with the issue of game fixing for the first time. Baseball Commissioner Katsuhiko Kumazaki says he does not want any of the participants to doze off during this seminar because they must learn this for their own benefit. About 110 rookies from the 12 pro clubs took part in this seminar. Following the scandal, 3 pro players were last year disqualified indefinitely. At this year's seminar, the rookies were briefed on the ban of so-called harmful conduct, including involvement in gambling and game fixing. Detailed explanations were given into how the 3 disqualified players were gradually drawn into gambling schemes by hanging around with game fixers. Giants rookie Toshiki Sakurai says he wants to avoid trouble by bearing in mind what he learned today. Chunichi player Shinnosuke Okasawara says he wants to become a good role model for young Japanese and a respected athlete.
In soccer, Japan's under-23 team is gearing up for the first match of the final Asian qualifying round for the Rio Olympics. Coach Makoto Teguramori and his Asian counterparts met with reporters today ahead of the first stage of the qualifiers. Teguramori says he's keen to see his young team raise hopes for Japanese soccer. Japan is gunning for its 6th consecutive Olympic appearance. The players had a workout at the venue of their opening match. Japan goes up against North Korea in the first game. In 2014, North Korea finished in 2nd place at the Asian Games. Japan failed to make it to the semifinals. North Korean coach Yoon Jong-soo says they are keen to get off to a good start so they can give hope to people back home. Teguramori says it's going to be a tough match, but they're determined to go to Rio at all costs. The match between Japan and North Korea kicks off at 10:30 p.m. tomorrow, Japan time.
In women's wrestling, hopes are high that Japan's Eri Tosaka will bring home a gold medal at her first Olympic appearance at the Rio de Janeiro Games. Tosaka spoke to NHK about her strategy. Tosaka is 22 years old and a university student. Last year, she defended her world champion title for the 3rd time. She booked a place on the Japanese Olympic team. Tosaka has a clear image for her success. She says she wants to be a queen. She says she admires Japanese wrestler Saori Yoshida, so wants to become an unbeatable queen just like her. Tosaka began wrestling at the age of 9. Her strength is her speed. It was after she entered university that she established herself as one of the world's top wrestlers. Tosaka will make her Olympic debut at Rio de Janeiro. She adores Yoshida just like a big sister. She says she can't forget the advice Yoshida gave her. Tosaka says Yoshida once told her that Olympic demons that reside at the Games, in fact, reside inside athletes' hearts. Tosaka says she was impressed by the profoundness. She says that the words must represent Yoshida's own experiences, and that's why they're so powerful. Tosaka is now building up her stamina. Let's take a look at the final match at last year's World Championships. Tosaka won this match in the end, but she says she felt a tremendous threat from her Azerbaijani opponent, whom she was fighting for the first time. Tosaka says she felt her tremendous power, which compared to nothing she had ever experienced. In preparation to meet her powerful rivals at the Olympics, Tosaka deliberately took part in the 53-kilogram category, one notch heavier than her usual category, in the Japanese Championships last month. In the final, Tosaka gave up a lead to her opponent. In the last 10 seconds, Tosaka says once she got her leg, she was determined never to let go unless she got a point. She won the final in the end. Tosaka says during practice she pushes herself as much as she can. She says she believes that she will become stronger if she keeps pushing herself even harder. She says she wants to keep winning until she claims an Olympic gold. She says that's the kind of wrestler she wants to be.
Yoshida is really admired by Tosaka, and Yoshida is a good advisor to her juniors. Yes, Tosaka has experienced very tough games, but she said even if she loses a game, she has confidence. Now, new information in the news of explosion that took place in Istanbul, Turkey. Turkish Deputy Prime Minister gave talked to reporters and said the culprit is a Syrian born in 1988. The explosion killed 10